did not write my curtain speech yet, y'all. It's been hectic, but I'm so excited to be here today with you all for the premiere of my idea and show, Chronicles Live. Yes, woo! Yes, guys. I want to start by saying I created this idea in 2018. It was actually supposed to just be a comic book. For some of you who don't know, I am also a visual artist, so that was the idea initially. And then I went to college and everyone said, you don't have to pick, you can do both, you can do dance and visual art. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna come up with an idea, and this is the birth of that idea. This is the beginning of it. So yes, this is a baby phase 1 version of my show, Chronicles Live, featuring my amazing artists. We have Twix, Shepard, we have Kiara Smith, and we have Autumne Robey. We're in this beautiful, amazing space, moving in the spirit, which is also where I am employed. Shout out to them for keeping this. Yes, we love them. They pay my bills, correct. So I'm so happy and thankful for you all being here today. You guys are lovely and wonderful. I have had such an amazing time putting this together for you all, and I'm very excited for you all to see it. I want to say thank you to my amazing team. It's been a team, y'all, not just me. My amazing team. I have 2 composers. We have Shane Wheeler and Crutcher, who have been putting together this incredible music you're going to hear. And then we have my amazing production crew. We have Aubria Battle as our lighting designer and our production manager. And then we have Dumonceaux, who is our stage manager today. I have some wonderful, wonderful volunteers, Antoinette and Anastasia, who are backstage making things happen. And again, my incredible, incredible cast of dancers. They are the best. I want to say a special thank you to my mentor and friend, Cameron Terry, who is the artistic director of Shades Dance Theater. Without him, this would not be happening, guys. We were talking on the phone. He said, at some point, you just gotta have the baby. And this is it. We having it, y'all. So we made it. Thank you so much to Cameron. And then, lastly, I wanna say thank you to NBAF, that is the National Black Arts Foundation or Festival. They are incredible. I'm so grateful to them. They are the reason I agreed to do any of this, because they gave me my first grant ever as an independent artist. Yes, so lots of things happening. You guys are gonna have a wonderful show. For those of you who have not already seen the program, we're gonna start out with, of course, the dance. You guys are gonna see some wonderful animatics done by the amazing Ahmad Jones, who is in the audience with you all. And we are so grateful for Ahmad, okay? Because yes, he did incredible work as well on this project. And we're gonna follow that with a brief intermission, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna share a documentary by Dr. Arsley Emil, who actually recorded some of the process behind the scenes for this. And then lastly, we're gonna have a talk back where you guys will get to ask me, my dancers, and some of my collaborators some questions about our process. And then you'll be, released to the lobby experience on your goodbye. Yes? Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much again. I'm so grateful for everyone in the room, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Once upon a time, in the land of October, the sun rose and fell day after day. From its own strength, it managed to get up and share its light every day with everyone. She never asked for anything in return, and grew weary of the responsibility to give warmth every day. She grew so tired in a way that felt sudden, but it was after centuries of work that she never realized it to be exhausting. She fell, and failed to rise again. She fell for so long that she began to miss the world that she kept warm, and all of the people on it. She watched them exhibit the best of love that life had to offer. She loved the planet so much that she began to sing and speak about it all the time. As she continued falling, she spoke so highly of October that she had gained an audience. Magical creatures no bigger than stardust or bacteria circled around the sun as she fell, just to hear of this place they had never known existed. The sun longed to return, and these small agents cared so deeply for the sun after a while that they came together to conjure up enough magic to find the planet and reunite the two. Together, they spotted the land of October and watched for a while. They noticed 3 beings that seemed to portray all of the wonderful things the sun had spoken about. These magical agents were so intrigued by these individuals that they dared to touch them. The 3 began to glow. In a land that had been dark for so long, the agents communicated with them what was happening and asked them if they were willing to save the sun and help her stay in place. Because of their righteous character, they happily volunteered to seek the sun. And to all their surprise, the people of October had looked quite different. In the midst of the sun's absence, they had gained new abilities, features, and mutations that had helped them survive. The people in the sun rejoiced and thanked the 3, calling them the Trinity. All but one person had felt true relief and gratitude for the Trinity. And that person was Malevolence, a young man who had felt left behind by his brother. He too wanted to go and save the sun, but the magic agents had not felt his character was strong enough to help. He was younger and a bit deceptive. Upon their return, he managed to trick one of the magic agents who had accompanied the sun on her journey to let him become magic as well. Immediately, the Trinity had noticed his persuasions at work and made a deal with him in hopes to keep the peace. Malevolence too could exist in the realm they now dwelled in, but he would have to forfeit his physical body so he himself could cause no one direct harm. And he became a spirit similar to the Trinity, but rather than glowing yellow, he loomed a deep purple. He remained happy this way for a short while, but his spirit grew insatiable. He wanted more power and to extend his wrath to the happy people of October. One day, upon witnessing a family, he decided perhaps he too should become a father. Left to his own devices, Malevolence conjured up a baby similar, one with no mother, so she would solely listen to him. Danny grew up to be the only person who could distinguish the voice of her father, aside from the Trinity, and she grew to love him so. He was all she knew, and he wanted nothing more than a legacy. Through rejection, malice, fear, and neglect, Malevolence worked hard to develop a sense of desperation and evil in Danny, encouraging every bad deed. Malevolence persuaded people to provide him with the house, the diapers, everything. He even persuaded people to care for the small child, given his physical body was non-existent. The Trinity knew of this, but did not infringe upon Malevolence's agency. They did, however, contribute to the care of Danny by providing her with excellent examples of what it meant to be lucky. She had a community of people invested in her upbringing. They gave her joy and laughter and friendship as she grew, in hopes to persuade her to follow a different path than her father. The Trinity knew the consequences of her becoming just like Malevolence and understood what it would mean if they had to intervene. That was the last thing they'd want to do. Little did they know, Danny would be tasked with the virtue of love. Though she was developed for a fate of vengeance and hurt, her nature would soon be challenged by two unlikely sources of hope.